Second inning baseball. You're checking out some of the dogs here on a dog day at Minute Maid Park. Orioles and Astros scoreless after one. So it's a dog day, and we're also talking about the basics of pitching. Not sure if we can have a better guest than Lance McCullers Jr., who joins us from the dugout. Lance, thanks for doing this. Talking about baseball basics as a kid, a lot of people want to emulate you as a Houston Astros pitcher who grew up in this area. When did you start learning how to pitch and throwing that nasty breaking ball that you throw?
Well, actually, I didn't pitch much growing up. I played a lot of sports growing up, and played infield. A lot of dreams, I'm sure, growing up. Guys watching Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, players like that. So I didn't pitch until I was a little deeper into high school, and then really because of the Astros, when they selected me, really learned how to pitch a lot in the minors because we had a lot of great coaching, and that's really where I began to really learn how to pitch versus just, throw hard.
What other sports did you play when you were growing up, and how did they help you as far as baseball?
Oh, basketball, football, the standard here in old USA. I think it taught me to just love sports and just love being out there and playing with your friends. I think growing up, that's the one thing I think parents need to just remember is that these kids, this is their youth. And even with my dad being a former big leaguer, it was always about having fun and just being out there and being competitive and just enjoying being young.
We just saw your buddy Carlos Correa in town with the Twins, and correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there a story where you guys were both at area code games or something where you're both shortstops and he was jealous? Yeah. He was jealous seeing the velocity you were throwing from shortstop?
Yeah, we were actually, it was the East Coast Pro. Okay. And I'm an early, listen, I tell guys a lot, I peaked really early. I mean, my peak was about 16, 17 years old. The velocity came in chunks, and I think maybe physically, I just kind of peaked at that time in my life, so I was throwing really hard, and we were at area codes, and Carlos was a shortstop as well. We also played together at the All-American games, and I started that game. Giolito pitched on the other side. Correa was at short. After I got done pitching, I went to second. So it was fun. I've known Carlos for a very, very long time, but nothing for him to be jealous about, man. He's got it all.
I didn't realize you were playing big league all-star games at the age of 12 to 16. That's pretty impressive. But when you did move into the minor leagues and decided to go out there and pitch, was that arm slot easy to find and keep and maintain that velocity?
Hold on. Get up, Tuck. Get up, Tuck.
Kyle Tucker makes the play on the wall.
What were you saying? Sorry.
No, you had the velocity at shortstop. How easy was it for you to transition that velocity from a shortstop position where you get a little bit of momentum going towards first base to getting on the bump and starting to use that drive going towards home plate?
I think a lot of it has to do with just continuing to be athletic. And I think that's from playing multiple sports growing up. I'm a huge proponent of, just being athletic on the mound, understanding, what you're feeling. When you're doing your everyday movements and, you're having fun and being explosive, I think that translates best on the mound. And you watch someone like JV, it looks like it's just so repeatable and it's so explosive at the end. And that's because he stays athletic through his windup and with a lot of our guys. I mean, all the guys we have in this dugout who are pitchers in the bullpen, you're just good athletes. And I think that is something that the Astros have understood and implement in working out or just everyday activities.
How much fun has it been watching the guy on the mound now? Especially you look at that first inning, first and third, nobody, and he ends up punching out three.
Yeah, this guy right here, brother, he's something special, and I think we have guys that come along in this game every so often, and you think of names like Nolan Ryan, Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez, the big unit. I mean, those are the type of names that you think of. And when you see someone like JV who's been able to reinvent himself when he was, having a couple of injury things in those early teen years, 13, 14, 15, the way he was able to reinvent himself and bounce back. And, what he's done in this Astros uniform, it's beyond special. So everyone should tune in when he pitches and just understand that this guy goes out there and it's greatness that you're watching.
Let's get inside the mind a little bit, because both you and JV have had those Tommy John surgeries and had to battle back from injury. Talk about how hard it is to battle back and not rush the process and trust it and get to know your body a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, that's just one of those things that, a lot of pitchers go through, and I'm not really sure why, we have a huge, a little bit of a spike, in TJs, but it's just one of those things where I think we're kind of on that forefront of really high, velocity, high octane arms. And I say all the time, I was blessed with a heck of an arm, but probably with the body to sit behind a desk. So it's just one of those things where you just try to do your best, and you get to see, someone come back from it, so well, like JV. So many guys around the league, come back from TJ, but it's not an easy process. It's a long one. But it teaches you patience, and it teaches you, a little bit of mental fortitude, and things of that nature. So you go through that process, come out the other side, and I believe if you do it right, you can be better.
Jorge Mateo bats here with 2 outs and a 1-1 count. Lance McCullers Jr. joining us from the dugout. How have you felt here your first 3 outings? You were able to work around less than your best stuff the other night. Where are you right now?
Yeah, well, that's part of pitching. And, there's the old saying, if you get 30 starts in a season, 10 of them you're going to walk out there with your absolute best stuff, and those games are going to be easy. The other 10 you're going to have to grind a little bit, but overall, you'll be fine. And then there's going to be about 10 where you don't have anything, and those are the games that make you. And the other night was one of those games for me. Pretty impressed with this Orioles team. I think they have a really, really good young team. But those games are what this type of season. So I've had 3 of them. So we'll try to get some good stuff rolling as JV's just dominating once again.
Yeah, he is. Thanks, Lance.
Thank you so much. Lance McCullers joining us in the top half of the second inning. JV with a 1-2-3 second.